I bet you're a bit like me and you drive around town on occasion and say, hey, I wonder what they're breaking ground on over there, or I wonder what that building's going to be, or what are they going to call it, or what is it going to offer, what are some of the amenities? What are those things that are happening around town that, man, I wish I knew that early on? My friend, in today's video, I've codified a bunch of activities, buildings, hotels, and things that you might be interested to know as to what's coming to Bentonville, Arkansas in 2025. My friend, if we haven't had a chance to meet, my name is Anthony Mosley, and I'm a real estate broker right here in Bentonville, Arkansas, the natural state of Arkansas. And I help people just like you, after presenting them the facts, decide, is Bentonville, is Northwest Arkansas going to be the next best place for you and your family to call home? I've put these categories together for us, my friend, and let's first talk about events. Some events that are on the calendar every year here in Bentonville, or some events that might be new to you. Let's go ahead and dig right in. I'm shooting this in February, so already some events have already taken place early this year here in Bentonville, but in no particular order. We have the Bentonville Film Festival that is hosted by Miss Gina Davis. Yes, this lady that you've seen in the original Beetlejuice at A League of Their Own.
She's under it.
Is here in Bentonville every June to promote her Bentonville Film Fest. This year, it's going to be held from June 16th to the 22nd. Next on our list is the Fresh Grass Music Festival, which is a 2-day event held at the Momentary, taking place from May 16th to May 17th. Of course, there is the Bentonville Bike Festival that happens every year. I think this is the 4th or 5th annual. I can't quite remember, but this year it's being held May 23rd and 25th, where there's hundreds and hundreds of vendors and exhibitions, races, exhibitors all around, bringing hundreds and hundreds or thousands of bikes of all different sizes and shapes, travel bikes, mountain bikes, BMX bikes. I don't think too many road bikes and tri-bikes, because the whole scene has changed here in Northwest Arkansas in the last decade. In case you're wondering, the appropriate number of bikes is N+1. So if you have 5 bikes, then the appropriate number is 1 more. There's a bike on the wall right there, the bikes, whatever. A highly coveted event to locals here in Bentonville happens from April through October every single year. It is called the First Friday events that take place, that's right, the first Friday of every month from April through October, with different exhibitors, different sponsors, different talent shows, things for you and your family to enjoy. Think of it as a family-friendly block party that happens down on the Bentonville Square. Again, every year from April through October. I know my daughters specifically love the Ghirardelli booth. Ghirardelli gives away those little chocolate squares that are absolutely wonderful and way too tempting. Of course, in 2025, we're going to see the lighting of the Bentonville Square that typically happens the 2nd or 3rd week in November. There's a fireworks display that happens every year in July. Aside from those events are the races that happen in Bentonville, or that start in Bentonville every year. One that has grown into popularity over the last decade or so is the Bentonville Half Marathon, which draws over 3,500 runners. I know my daughter's going to run it again this year. Maybe you'd be interested in training for the Bentonville Half Marathon. That one is being held this year, April 5th. Holding its 14th annual race is the Tri-Fest for MS. Now, my friends, if you're a triathlete or considering triathlon for the first time, this is held every year at the Melvin Ford Aquatic Center here in Bentonville, and they have a 5K, a super sprint, a sprint, and an Olympic triathlon. If you want to, I did it one year, actually 2020, I signed up for the Trifesta. That's doing the super sprint, the sprint, and the Olympic distance, like 56 some odd miles, all in one weekend. I know it's not a full Ironman to those of you that are my Ironman buddies out there watching, but still, it's a lot to do in one weekend. This year, that event is August 29th through August 31st. Next is the ever so popular Rule of 3 event, which has drawn the likes of Lance Armstrong and some other professional mountain bikers and cyclists. This year, the Rule of 3 is already sold out, but the wait list is quickly filling up, and that is happening this year, May 15th through the 18th. There's the Big Sugar gravel bike race that is put on by Lifetime. They have a 104-mile route and a 52-mile route on some of Northwest Arkansas's gravel roads, and that is taking place on October 18th. Next is the Hincapie Gran Fondo. George Hincapie, famed cyclist, is bringing back his Gran Fondo for a second year. Their initial year was 2024 in September, Hincapie Gran Fondo. Gran Fondo, in case you're wondering, is like great race or great tour. The dates haven't been announced for that just yet as the shooting of this video, but There's the Hincapie Grand Fondo. Celebrating its 10-year anniversary is the Square to Square bike ride in May and in October, May 3rd this year and October 11th, respectively. They're going to start in Bentonville in May and ride bikes all the way down Razorback Greenway to the Fayetteville Square. And it's my understanding that in October, they'll start in the Fayetteville Square and ride all the way up the Greenway to the Bentonville Square. Earlier, we had mentioned the Bentonville Half Marathon, but there are numerous 5Ks and events that are taking place if you're a runner, if you're looking for the Goblin Run. St. Patty's Day. Seems like there's a 5K for just about everything, and a lot of them start and or finish on the Bentonville Square or over by the Bentonville Community Center. Of course, my friends, we're talking about things that are happening just here in Bentonville. There's all the surrounding Northwest Arkansas events that are taking place every year as well. I, for one, drive around town and I'm always like, what is that building? Or, man, they're digging up something over there. Let's figure out what that is. You might be interested to know that there are thousands, not just thousands, hundreds and hundreds, maybe even millions of commercial space that's currently being built and or finished recently in Northwest Arkansas. Right at the top of the list is Walmart headquarters is opening up in stages. And of course, there's a 350,000 square foot Walton Family Fitness Center is part of that. It's a training and workout facility. They include tennis courts, pickleball, lap pool. There's hydro massage and cryotherapy also available. There also on the campus is the Sam Walton Hall with enhanced auditorium and conference spaces, classroom, and art installations. Also on Walmart's home office are some local favorites, like Wright's Barbecue is going to have a location there at the home office. There will also be a Gents Place to get your hair cut. There's going to be Fly Away Brewing Company, 7 miles of trails that connect to the local mountain biking and Razorback Greenway. Also, there are hotels on the home office, which brings us kind of to our next little subsection is there are multiple hotels coming or that just recently opened here in Bentonville. First on our hotel list is the Motto that recently opened up in the latter part of 2024, just across from Ledger, the world's first bikeable building. Again, is Motto, which is a 6-story hotel with 175 rooms, Japanese-inspired restaurant, and Polynesian-themed outdoor bar. This is within a short walk, stroll, or roll to Bentonville's downtown square. Until recently, there was another hotel right off the corner of the Bentonville Square that was to be named. Nobody knew what the name of it was. It was recently announced it was called the Compton. Now, the Compton is going to be a very biker-friendly hotel with a bike valet, washing station. It'll also include a restaurant and bar as well as event space. Located on the corner of 14th and I Street is this patch of ground that's behind me in this earlier video. We're wondering what's going to go in there. The motel that's going in there is called the Detrola. It's right across from Bentonville Brewing Company. You're just down the street from Thaden Field. It's my understanding that it's going to feature 3 buildings and it'll have around 162 guest rooms and something about some townhomes also on the property there. That one again is called the Detrola. It appears as though the construction has stopped, and I understanding that bids for construction stopped around March of 2023, but I bet that that's going to start up here again soon and start going vertical. Next on our building list, adding hundreds of thousands of commercial space, our finished square footage here in Bentonville, Arkansas, is the Alice Walton School of Medicine that's going to enroll their first class of students here in the summer of 2025. That building is on the grounds of Crystal Bridges, which is also adding around 100,000 square feet to their already around 200,000 square feet of art and exhibition area. That's a total of over 300,000 square feet to Crystal Bridges by 2026. As you can imagine, with a world-class art museum like Crystal Bridges, there will be numerous exhibitions as well as guest speakers that'll come in as far as events there at Crystal Bridges. You can go to their website. That'll give you some insight as to what's coming there. For a fuller schedule of events taking place in Bentonville, go to the website visitbentonville.com, and they'll have about 3 months worth of events on the calendar for you to check out for your kids, for your pets, for your hobbies and interests. It's all there at visitbentonville.com. I don't know about your family, but my family loves going to the Bentonville Library. My daughters absolutely love reading. In fact, they get in trouble for staying up too late reading the books that they just got at the library. But there at the Bentonville Library, they just added on a maker space with 3D printers, a digital creation space with video and audio equipment for podcasting or doing videos, maybe much like what I'm doing here on YouTube. They added a 225-person meeting room. Yet to be finished in 2025 there at the library is the outdoor gathering and garden spaces. Of course, I could go on and on, my friend, talking about restaurants and shops and businesses that are coming to Northwest Arkansas. Being a local real estate broker, I'm always concerned about the amount of housing that we have or don't have here in Bentonville. So you may be interested to know there is an apartment building on the corner of Southeast J Street with 618 units coming for 1 to 2 bedrooms. Has a pool, clubhouse, and fitness center. That's right there by Phillips Park, where many people are playing baseball or even cricket at times. A little bit further down the road is McCully Place, which is an affordable housing unit. There's 200 affordable rental units on the corner of Southwest I and 41st Street, and they're targeting families that are earning about 30 to 60% of the local area median income. Traveling back north on Walton is Kohler Crossing, which is a 60-unit mixed-use building, which is located just down the street from my favorite trail system with Kohler Mountain Bike Preserve. It's kind of halfway between Kohler and the downtown square. It's my understanding that there is Orchard Townhomes, which is going to be 9 luxury townhomes with about 4 bedrooms and luxury finishes each within a short walk, roll, or stroll to the Bentonville Square. A couple other buildings that are early on in the works that you may be interested to know is the Main and A Street building, which is a 221-unit mixed-use building that's going to include studios up to 3 bedroom spaces. Also, there is Mid-City Commons, which is a mixed-use 236-unit 1 to 2 bedroom apartment complex, which is going to include a dog park. And what's becoming more and more famous, it's also going to include a pickleball court as well. Of course, Bentonville being the mountain biking capital of the world, self-proclaimed or not, it's certainly becoming such as that, is there are more mountain biking trails being developed. And of course, the trails that are already there, especially at Kohler, they're adding more downhill trails, they're adding more features to the trails. And of course, Bentonville being a very popular growth area, schools are also growing in Bentonville. It's been in the news recently that Bentonville high schools are trying to decide, should we add on or should we build an all-new net high school? I'm thinking it's probably going to be the latter, if I had to guess. Of course, there are road projects that are happening, expanding current roads. There's a new exit at Tiger Boulevard off of Highway 49 that's in the works as well. My friend, as of the last 5 years, Bentonville has averaged 475 new homes. In 2020, there were 425 homes. 2021, there was 385. In 2022, there was 411. In 2023, there were 656 new homes that closed. 2024, there was 505. So averaging 476 and some odd homes every year. So I bet to believe there's around 475 more coming or more here to Bentonville. As always, my friend, it is a pleasure to put this information together for you. And now you know a little bit more about what life is like in and around Bentonville. Thanks for watching.